The next 30 minutes could change your life.
Redemption with Ron Carpenter.
You know, this is something we don't normally like to think about, but I wonder how many opportunities I've missed because I didn't recognize it was an opportunity. I wonder how many God moments passed me by because I just did not know it was a God moment. The Bible said that Jesus himself came to his own and his own received him not. He was sent to his people and his people didn't recognize that it was him. Hi, I'm Pastor Ron Carpenter. Welcome to Redemption Today. I want to talk to you about something that I believe is life-changing. Honor is something that has to be given, and you got to be able to recognize something to honor it. The Bible puts it this way: there's a treasure that was hidden in a field, and the kingdom resembles a treasure hidden in a field. And for the joy of that treasure, the man sold all he had and bought the whole field. You know something? Everybody has something that is a treasure about them, and everybody has something that's just dirt. And God always takes the good stuff and usually hides it underneath the bad stuff. Why does he do that? Stick around and you'll find out why. Because we're talking about 10 days that can change your life.
The kingdom works this way. It's full of treasure hunters. And I have got to understand that every field has a treasure, but it's hid. It's hid so that the casual passerby can't get it. God hid it on purpose. Hid it in attitudes you don't like. Hid it in behavior you ain't saying that. Behavior you don't like. Hid it in stuff you don't agree with. Hid it in personality quirks that annoy you. God took a treasure and he hid it in the field, but I have got to learn how to deal with the field if I'm going to access your treasure, because God took something precious and tucked it away in you, and I can't be casual about you and make a withdrawal on it.
God will always show up in somebody. I don't care how spiritual you are, your life is not going to be made on daily visitations from angels. Well, I saw Jesus last night and he walked in my room. Okay. I saw Jesus too. It was my son. It was my daughter. It was my wife, my other son. It was you when you came in this morning. It was people who came in to serve me hot tea on a sore throat. It was people who came in and went through the order. I saw Jesus all over the place. And God operates through representation. God will always show up through somebody. And you need to go ahead and understand that right now, because you want to deal directly with God. But God will deal directly with you through somebody. And he'll bring somebody along that has the treasure that you need. And I'm going to tell you, the principle of honor comes in because honor is the only way to access the treasure. And the test of honor will be when the field shows up. It is easy to honor me when I'm holding a mic full of word, God's man of strength and power, been praying 2 hours before I even got here, been in the presence of God, nobody's messed with me, I'm not deterred, I'm not distracted, I'm on a mission. But when I get through with this 8 or 9 hours of intense focus, I go home and I'm irritable. My wife may talk and she ain't getting all my attention.
My mind's tired. Y'all ain't saying nothing. See, it's hard to be my wife and my kids. Why? You get the treasure, they get the field. They get the field. God, everybody sinned. How? Because Adam represented me. You know how all of us got saved? Jesus represented us. You know what the tithe is? A representation of all. You tithing to God is telling God all of it's yours. Because 10 is the highest you can go in our numerical system. If you can count to 10, you can count to 10 million. All you do is count to 10 and start over. So God said, I tell you what, bring me a tenth, and that shows me it's all mine. Representation. God said, I have heard the cry of my people. I've seen their sorrow, and I know their affliction under the cold, hard whip of Pharaoh. And he said, listen. He said, I, God, have come down to deliver them. And he said, come here, Moses. Now, these people know Moses. They done got the news God was coming. And God gonna deal with Pharaoh. And now they got to settle into him showing up in the form of a fugitive who's been on the run 40 years. If you want the treasure, you got to buy the... God told Aaron, building the golden calf, Aaron. Go out there and put my name on the people. Gave Aaron the authority to stamp Israel with the print of God's name across it. The same guy who, when Moses went on the mountain and took a little too long, said, bring me your earrings, bring me your bracelets, bring me your gold, melted it and made it into a golden calf and worshiped it. At the first absence of leadership, people turned into idol worshipers. And the same guy who operated in the field when he was worshiping a calf, God gave him the power to represent him and said, put my name upon the people of Israel. God always shows up through somebody. And so I've got now, let me move to this last thing and I'll close. Now it means for me to be a person who honors, it means I have to have the ability to recognize. I've got to be able to look at the field and recognize that there is a treasure in it, and then I've got to honor you properly to be able to access the treasure. Because what you honor moves towards you, what you disrespect moves away from you. And you can't keep disrespecting things and think that you're going to get it. Come on now, can I talk for real? We got people sitting under the sound of my voice. You have been trained to disrespect wealthy people. Yet you do not understand why wealth eludes you. You can't sit back and disrespect something and then think that it's going to happen in your life. It's getting quieter. And what you don't understand is why you sit on the couch disrespecting everybody that is a celebrity, everybody driving a nice car, and everybody who's worked hard, developed their talent, developed their gift, practice, hired trainers, vocal coaches, everything else to get where they are, and spend hours that we don't even know about developing a gift. Then we sit on a couch and all we do is disrespect them, and you are psychologically putting in your kids that same spirit that they are going to turn into disrespectful people, and then the success everybody in here wants, you never get. Why? Because you don't honor it. When I get in this building, I've tried to train this church, and I read somebody's success story, this building ought to go nuts. I mean, it ought to go crazy with clapping and hollering and dancing. Why? Because if I can't celebrate you, then I'll never be able to access it for my own life. Is anybody hearing what I'm saying? Are you hearing? And Jesus, full of the Holy Ghost, a treasure, went into a town where people knew the field. I watched this boy grow up. He ain't nothing special. Are his sisters not still living here in the same town, Nazareth? I know his brothers. Why in the world are y'all following this dude around? He made park benches with his dad. And now he's got the audacity to come back and try to tell you how to live and tell you he's God's son? Results. They could not access what was in him. Not because of his inability to perform, but because of their inability to receive. Because read him in every other town. He cleaned out the hospitals. The Bible says that he healed all that were sick and afflicted of the devil. The guy's cleaning out hospitals. The guy's putting doctors and pharmacists out of business until he gets to the people who can't access the treasure because they disrespected the gift. Is this a message as hard as it looks like it is on you? I don't know. Is this it's confrontational, isn't it? It's confronting a culture. It's confronting a culture. And you got to spend 2 or 3 Sundays confronting what is before you can turn the corner and tell you what's supposed to be. They didn't have the ability to recognize what was in front of them, and we do that every day. The greatest breakthroughs in my life came when I honored somebody. And I know y'all don't want to hear this. This just makes the mad people madder. And most of the time it was with a substance. It was with an offering. And most of the time it was with people that had far greater resources than me. Not because they needed my resources, but because I needed their abundance. And so when I honored the place that they were anointed, then what they had, I began to access it in my own life. Y'all ain't saying nothing. You just looking at me. But that's the thing is, you know how this building got built? Because I emptied my accounts to help T.D. Jakes build his. And I tried for 2 years to get $8 million to build this building. Nobody would help me. After I helped build Bishop Jakes, giving everything I had left in the bank to help him pay it off, when I did that, in 3 days, I had a man call and finance this building. In 3 days. What I couldn't do in 2 years happened in 3 days. Somebody just shout 3 days, because great things happen in 3 days. Jesus gets up on 3 days. Dead things come to life in 3 days. God can turn something around in 3 days. This ministry had a plane jet given to us from a man to this day I have still not met. Because Jesse Duplantis needed a plane, and I helped him buy his plane. Because I helped him buy his, a doctor in Jacksonville who was upgrading heard about us and sent us his, and the pilots dropped it off, left us the key, and flew back to Jacksonville. And I don't even know the guy's name. Y'all ain't saying nothing. This is the principle that I live by. When I honor the gift in somebody else, then God will turn around and let me access what was shut off to me. And if you can get over being mad and learn this principle of honor, you have no idea what you can start pulling out of people. Somebody turn around and say, I got great things in me. Tell them, I got great things in me. You got to learn how to access it. Come on, say it. I got great things in me. You've got to learn how to access it.
More of this life-changing word from Ron Carpenter in just a moment.
Ron Carpenter's new book, The Necessity of an Enemy, has struck a chord with mainstream America. Since the book's release, people everywhere have begun to recognize the enemy and how to use that power to change their lives.
An enemy can be a blessing in disguise, but only if we recognize them and face them head on. I'm telling you, this book has changed my life.
The Necessity of an Enemy by Ron Carpenter was birthed from triumphs over his own personal adversity. In it, you will learn that your enemy, whether it be yourself or other people, can become your step stool to your greatest breakthrough.
This book challenged my life, strengthened my faith, and I'm ready to go to the next level.
Don't let your enemies get you off track from God's plan for your life. This hardback book is available for $19.99 wherever books are sold. But Ron Carpenter wants you to have it today for just $15. Strategically fight the battles that threaten your destiny and win.
And to all you people living in the Asheville and Charlotte areas of North Carolina, we've got 2 brand new campuses. Why? We want to have church with you. Come check us out, okay? God bless you.
And now, back to redemption with Ron Carpenter.
There's something in us that wants to pull people down. Until we need something. Then we want them to be awesome. Well, I'm going to tell you something right now, Apostle. You ain't no different than me, and I don't even know why you got that in front of your name. And I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't putting up with nobody that I can't talk to or have a one-on-one relationship with, and you think you too good for the people. You